municipality borders of Jerusalem, as it takes today over even the kibbutz that is behind us. You cannot see it, there's a ridge there, okay? Now, we're looking to this out. I would like to start with the far east. What you see over there, you see the ridge of mountains over there? Moab. Moab you remember the story? Yes. And what you see here today is a neighborhood that is known as Choma Umigdal. No, translate Choma Umigdal.
Choma, Migdal's tower.
Yep.
Choma is, I'm not sure.
A wall.
Hmm?
A wall.
Wall.
Choma Umigdal means a wall and a tower. The whole idea is that this is the most southern neighborhoods of the city of Jerusalem toward Bethlehem. Now, there was quite a big thing about this whole neighborhood. We're talking about demonstrations, we're talking about Palestinians. There were about close to 60 people that were shot in the demonstrations that went on for about a year or two. The Palestinians did not let us build over here anything. But eventually, as you can see, folks, in the Middle East, things take time. But if you are quite confident of what you do and you've got faith in God Almighty, you can turn and make it what it is. And this is today 763 units, meaning 763 apartments that are here in this neighborhood, Choma Umigdal. Down in the valley, look at the terraces. Some of those terraces go back to the time of the Second Temple. And why all those terraces? To prevent the what we call erosion. And then when you build terraces, you plant on top of those trees that eventually also keep the soil in one place. That's why Bethlehem is known for olive oil and olive wood, because everything that you see there, it's all those are all olive trees. And the place we are going is a place that the family, the Nissan brothers, have a factory in Bethlehem. And as in Bethlehem, folks, it's not exactly safe. That's an understatement. They opened a place in Jerusalem, and that's where they later on. What is known as the Shepherd Fields, folks. This is the area you're looking at, just over here, from the street and down. That's the Shepherd Field, folks, that is mentioned in the scriptures. And now, the reason I stopped over here, I'm taking this kind of a cactus plant in front of me as an anchor, because and all the way at the distance to the left of it, there's a group of trees there. In between the cactus tree and a tall building, long with about 6 stories, about 6 stories high with black windows. See it? Okay, in between that building and the cactus, there's a group of trees. See it over there?
Yeah.
That is where the Church of Nativity is located. That's where the manger is located, being pointed to be the place, the birthplace of Christ. That's exactly there at that spot. Now, I'll be sliding now to the left along this cable, electric cable, and at certain points under you see a mountain over there that looks like the top was chopped off, and there's a path that leads to the top. You see it? In a book that is known by the name The Jewish Wars, written 2,000 years ago by Josephus Flavius, known by the name Josephus Matithia. That was a Jewish trader that eventually moved to the Roman camp and became a historian. He describes the funeral of King Herod from Jerusalem, ending there at that mountain. That mountain is man-made. Herod built it. It is known by the name Herodion. He built a cylinder-shaped of a fortress and then fill it all the way at both sides, all around eventually, with soil, all around. Then it reaches eventually the top of that hill. You can stand on the rim of that and look in, and it's one big circle, and inside you have all kind of archaeological kind of finds. It's just amazing. Meaning that we have that book for centuries and centuries, and only over a year and a half ago, the tomb of King Herod was found. Only a year and a half ago, folks, the tomb of Herod the Great was found, even though we knew very well that the funeral ended over there, and that's where he was buried. Just for you to understand, folks, how difficult it is to look for something that you know is there. And there are times that you want something that is not there, that wasn't there, let's say, or shouldn't be there, like Beit Shean and so on. Let's say, the grave was found in a very bad condition, as we believe somewhere following the death of Herod, no more than 100 years later, people entered and looted and broke everything. Meaning it was not already those during that time. The Jews did not like Herod. And that's an understatement. Okay? And even though he's the one that enlarged the temple and added a lot of things to the temple, they don't like. So that's about Herod. But let's get back to Jesus. What is the meaning of Bethlehem? This is the house of bread, right? That's the meaning. Jesus, our bread. But there's another reason, folks, that Bethlehem was known as the wheat fields, provider of Jerusalem. And we know that again from the scripture. You remember the story of Ruth and Boaz? When it happened, in Bethlehem, in the wheat field, right? Am I right or I'm wrong?
Yeah. You're good.
Do you know what I'm talking about, folks?
Yes.
Well, because I've got some places over here with a big question mark. So if you don't, we can go over it and we'll talk about it. Do you know? Okay, good. So, anyway, one of the things that you will never find around Jerusalem is any farmland. All the farmland was around. And Bethlehem was the main provider of wheat, flour, bread, and so on. And that's how, one of the ways that it got the name Bethlehem. Okay, the house of bread. Bethlehem today spreads from the north from those antennas over there and goes all the way down to those kind of a red tile roof buildings all the way down there below. Questions?
Where does the wall start? Is that
The wall starts all the way south of Beit Shean, where we were, and goes around the West Bank. That's why I said over 200 miles long. Over here you see part of it. Where we'll be heading now, you'll see another part of it at a distance, how it goes on top of the mountains on the right. When we get to Caiaphas' house.
and that is Palestinian controlled, you said?
No.
No, that's what I'm
it.
talking about.
No, good question. Not everything beyond the wall is under Palestinian control. Okay, you find out that there are some areas like Bethlehem, Jericho, Hebron, Jenin, and Shechem, and so on, that is under Palestinian control. But still, there are areas in the West Bank, like areas we drove through. You remember yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we were in the West Bank, in an area that is surrounded by that wall. But we drove safely to that area because it's under Israeli control. And that's when somebody asked me, hey, can we rent a car and drive around? Folks, you can do that, but you should have to know that when you type in the GPS a certain address, it will look for the shortest way to get there. And the GPS doesn't know what is Palestinian control or not. And that's where people eventually get into trouble. More questions?
On the map we got originally, it has little spots of different colors. Is that the parts that are controlled differently?
Yes,
That's what that
yes,
means?
Yes,
Okay.
you got it. Exactly. Exactly.
The gate back there, it said on the sign, no Israeli citizens allowed.
So true.
So is that just for Bethlehem? Or that
No,
access
any
point?
place that is under the jurisdiction of the Palestinians, Israeli citizens are not allowed to go to.
Okay.
They have a tendency of kidnapping people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd